Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. On this video, I will be driving through the city of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, which is located in Hardin County. It is 47 minutes south of Louisville, and it's 25 minutes from Fort Knox, and it's located right by the city of Radcliffe, which I done that video yesterday, so feel free to go on this channel and check that video out. So I'm gonna just give you guys some general information about this city, and then at the end, towards the end, I'll give you my 2 cents about the city. So the population in Elizabethtown is 30,331 people, and this city has been a growing city since they began to record the census on this city. The only 2 census years where this city experienced a population loss was in 1800 and then again in 1900. But every other census year, this city, for the most part, has been a growing city. And as of the 2020 census, the city has grown by 11.1%. Now, the racial makeup of the city is 74.5% white, 10.7% black, 4.1% Asian, 5.8% Hispanic. And violent crime in this city is well below national average. Property crime is only 8.8% above national average, so the crime numbers in this city are rather impressive. And, for those of you that don't want to have to drive real far to work, you don't want to take that drive into Louisville, you prefer to stay in town for work. I mean, obviously, depending on what type of occupation that you work, there are jobs to be had within the city limits, and there is also a fair amount of jobs to be had around the general Elizabethtown area, whether you're talking about, Radcliffe, Fort Knox, or some of the surrounding communities. Now, I'm not going to sit here and name off all the jobs that might be available. I'm just going to name off a few companies, and these are some of the larger employers of Elizabethtown and the surrounding areas. So you have Elizabethtown Brake, that is I can't pronounce it. It's Akebono Brake. They basically, I believe they manufacture all the brake parts. You have Ambrake Corporations. They do manufacture all the brakes. You have SSW Holding Company, which manufactures appliance parts. Like they might, they might make refrigerator shelves or doors and shelves for maybe a microwave or something of that nature, or an oven. Then there's ABNA, which they manufacture automobile brakes. You got Moser Cabinetry, so if you have a little bit of carpentry skills and you enjoy working with your hands, you can check them out. They might need some people to make some cabinets for all these new houses that they're throwing together all over the place, and for also people that are doing a bunch of home renovations. So if you got some carpentry skills, they might have an opening for you. Then you got Vulcan Materials. Vulcan Materials. That is VULCAN Materials. They basically produce construction materials such as, stone. I'm gonna guess concrete mix, stuff of that nature. Basic materials that typically are used by builders to build houses and commercial structures. It's no common sense. So anyhow, I would say to work there, if you don't mind doing some some heavy physical labor and you got good feet, you're fairly strong and all that type of good stuff, and you don't mind working outdoors, I'm gonna assume that's probably a job to where you have to work outdoors at least at some point. I could be wrong, but that's a company you can check out. Then you got Jack Henry and Associate, which is the largest provider of computer equipment. So some of the computer equipment that might go into ATM machines or your laptop or other businesses to where they use some type of computer apparatus. This company produces much of that type of equipment. And as far as a little bit of entertainment, again, there's plenty to do in Elizabethtown and the surrounding communities. So again, depending on what it is you're looking to get into entertainment-wise, you might be able to find enough entertainment here to keep you occupied. You may not necessarily have to drive into Louisville or anything. So for entertainment, you got the Soaps Cars of Yesteryear Museum, which is basically a classic car museum. You got the Freeman Lake Park, which is a 4-mile walk around the man-made lake. You got the Elizabethtown Nature Park, which has walking trails. There's some military paraphernalia, so you can go there and read all that, and I guess you can give your honors to the good men and women that served in the armed forces. And this park apparently is over 104 acres of farmer pasture land. You also got the Historic State Theater Complex. You can go there and watch you a few movies. You got the Hardin County History Museum. So if you're wanting to learn a little bit more history, more in-depth history, if you will, about the Hardin County area, the Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Fort Knox, you can go visit that museum. You got the Flywheel Brewing. I can't name off a list of things to do in this area without naming off something that deals with some type of alcohol, given that Kentucky is one of the biggest producers of bourbon products. And you got the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall, so you can go there and read off some of the names of the vets who have served in the military at some point in American history. You got the Lincoln Heritage House. You can go there and visit Lincoln's old log cabin. And if you want to do if you have a little bit of money that you don't mind wasting, you got a little bit of time that you don't mind killing, maybe you might want to do a little bit of shopping, you got the Peddler's Mall, which is located here in Elizabethtown. I don't know if it's Peddlers or Peddlers. One of the two is Peddler, how you spell it. And for those of you that exercise and maybe you're on a trip, or maybe you're moving to Elizabethtown and you're looking for a place to work out and get your exercise in, you got the CrossFit Elizabethtown, which has, according to them, they're not just a gym. Apparently they got some trainers that will train you on all the different equipment they got. From what I've seen in their on their little website, they got a bunch of CrossFit equipment, and apparently they got some certified trainers that will help you out in that department. So if you're looking to start exercising again, or you do exercise and you're looking for a good place to go and exercise, you might want to check them out. It's called CrossFit Elizabethtown. And you also got the Heartland Golf Club for those of you that are golfers. Now, as far as my 2 cents about this city, I don't think I told you the cost of living here. No, I didn't. If you want to live here in Elizabethtown, if you're just looking to rent, your rent prices are gonna be $624. Your median rent prices are gonna go from $624 to $1,388 a month. Translation, I would probably say that your rent will go from $700 to $1,400 a month, depending on whether you're going to rent a studio apartment or you're going to rent as big as a 3 or 4 bedroom. And when it comes to purchasing a home, the median home price right now is at $200,000. It's a little over $200,000. It's $200,500 to be more specific. However, if you do some careful shopping around, there are houses out there that you can buy for cheaper. Now, as far as finding something that's move-in condition ready, there are a few houses that I saw for the mid 150s to the low 160s that you can purchase. They're all in decent neighborhoods, and they all appear to be moving ready. Obviously, if you're a handy person, you can buy houses for a little cheaper than that. Now, for my drive-through here in Elizabethtown, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't pinpoint what area of the city would be considered a quote-unquote bad part of town. You know, to be quite frank with you folks, I didn't really see a part of this city that I would consider to be, yeah, that's the bad part of town, stay away. I didn't see that on this trip. I didn't see it at all. Now, there are a few areas where, yes, the houses might be a little rough, and maybe the yards might have a few extra pieces of debris. But I would say, as far as just an outright, this is a bad neighborhood, bars on the window, people walking around up to no good type of deal, I will say, from my trip down here, from my drive-through on this video, I did not see anything as such. So I would say, again, as I've said on my other videos that I do that are in communities within an hour of Louisville, Kentucky, I mean, this city, of course, has all your basic amenities, and it does have a considerable amount of entertainment to keep you occupied. And you're not too far from Louisville if you need a little more excitement than what this city or neighboring cities may have to offer. So I would say, for all those factors, I would say this would be a solid city to reside in. Now, housing prices here, of course, obviously, it's a little bit more expensive compared to Radcliffe. I mean, Radcliffe, which is right next door, would be a little cheaper. But if you have the extra money and you prefer to live in a slightly bigger city with slightly more things to do and more amenities closer by, then this would be your city. I mean, you know, I think this is a good, I mean, like I said, this is a solid place to live if you're looking to live in this part of Western Kentucky. I mean, you know, for those of you that, I mean, and then just like I said on my Radcliffe video, you do have a fair amount of retired military personnel that might choose to stick around here after they retire from the military. And you also have a good number of military personnel who are currently active that are living around here. You got their families that are living around here, which are significant reasons why your housing prices here are the way they are. And then, of course, to put the cherry on top, it's under an hour from Louisville, Kentucky. So, see what else can I say? I don't know what else to say about this city, other than what I just said. If you're, I mean, in my humble opinion, it's a solid place to live. It's a good, I think it would be a good city for someone who has the right amount of money to live here. Now, obviously, this is not going to be Entertainment Hub USA or nothing. I mean, after all, this is Kentucky. And much like what I said when I first began to record videos a couple of years ago in Indiana, I mean, Kentucky is Kentucky is one of those type of states where if you're looking for, now I will say the cost of living in Kentucky as a whole is a little bit more expensive than Indiana, but Kentucky compared to many other regions of the country, it's cheaper, it's more affordable, your taxes are considerably less. But Kentucky is not exactly the type of state where someone who's looking for a plethora of entertainment would want to live. So if you come from a larger city and you're looking for a place that's got tons of entertainment and just excellent public transportation, then Kentucky's not going to be your speed. I'm going to tell you that right now. But if you're the kind of person that maybe you're looking to live somewhere that's kind of sort of slower pace, maybe you're into natural beauty, and Kentucky does have natural beauty all day. Kentucky has tons of rolling hills, and depending on what part of Kentucky you go, you'll have mountains. I mean, parts of Kentucky is actually within the Appalachian. So if you're looking for natural beauty mixed in with affordability and a functioning economy, then in a bunch of communities that are safe, I would say Kentucky is the type of state that you might want to come and check out. And I would say this city of Elizabethtown is a prime example of what you can expect out of many smaller Kentucky cities. And another thing which I will say is, for those of you that don't really know Kentucky, you're not really familiar with Kentucky, you might lump Kentucky in with, oh man, Kentucky's part of the South. I mean, I will say, depending on where in the South you go, it's going to be a little different. Like, Kentucky is going to be different from Tennessee. And Tennessee is going to be different from places like Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia. And parts of Georgia is going to be different from all the other places I just named. And Texas is going to have its own little flavor as well. So, don't make that mistake and put the South all in one category and assume that every southern state is exactly the same, because it isn't. And even when you look at the state of Kentucky, not every area of Kentucky is the same. Like, Western Kentucky is going to be different than Eastern Kentucky. The part of Kentucky that's closer into Cincinnati is going to be different than the part of Kentucky that's closer into Louisville or Southern Kentucky. Now, this part of Kentucky that I'm in right now, you know, Elizabethtown. I mean, I just did a video of Radcliffe just last night. And also Bardstown, Kentucky, which ain't too far up the road. It's just you jump on 65 and you travel north a little bit, you'll be in Bardstown. But I would say this general part of Kentucky, if you're looking to live in Kentucky for whatever reason, you don't have to, in this general part of Kentucky, you're not going to have to worry so much about your neighbors being backwards. You're not going to have to worry about ending up somewhere where you got crappy internet. You got a bunch of neighbors that are backwards thinkers and they still want to act as if it's pre-civil rights or something like that. So I would say in this section of Kentucky, you don't got to deal with all that. Is it perfect here? No. Are there people here that are bigots? Of course. But I would say for the most part, people here are decent. You ain't got to worry about anything off the wall when it comes to bigotry. I mean, you got to think in this part of Kentucky, you have a fair amount of tourism going on, especially in Bardstown. You also have a fair amount of military personnel around this area due to Fort Knox. And you're also within an hour of Louisville. And you're less than 2 hours from Bowling Green. So I would say in this section of Western Kentucky, you don't really have to you're not going to really have to worry too much about a bunch of backwood type individuals who have the intellect of a freaking second grader. You ain't got to worry about that crap around here so much. Alright folks, that's my 2 cents about this city. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got something out of it. And, you know, help with the algorithm. Leave a comment in the comment section. Give me some thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing that because I will be putting out many more videos. So until next time, y'all have a blessed one, and I will see you on the next one. Downtown Elizabethtown, Kentucky.